And we are live, joined tonight by Towell and Socko for episode 16 of Cautiously Optimistic. Griff might be popping in a little while as well. He just got caught up in work, but the three of us for the time being. Hope everyone is well. Lads, how you keeping?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah.
Not
So
bad.
you had a good weekend there. Something happened on Saturday. I can't quite remember what it was. Do you remember? Did you see it, Ross? No.
I think there's a cup final of some kind, doesn't there? I think across the pond, possibly.
Yeah, no, I'm in good form now, so let's not upset me.
Plenty to play for tomorrow.
I'll start talking about it. I'm sure, like, if you get me going, we'll be here 20 minutes later. Like, I'll be going into why fucking Mendy's
Reece James fed well. That's all I care about.
nightmare.
Chelsea's best player of the day. If that's
gave away the ball for the goal. Gave away the ball.
It was a handball.
Yeah. You did all right, but like that's the most obvious error of the game. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he got 8 out of 10 on player ratings, is what I saw anyway. So, but yeah, if you do go into, it's completely off topic. If you do go on to enjoy the stream, please do drop a like on it, and please do subscribe as well, of course. We're looking to get towards 3K as quick as we can, and the like target for tonight's show. We hit 50 last week, so if you do that again, that would be fantastic. Hope everybody is well. What did you make of the games? We'll be getting into them as we go on, but let us know what you think in the chat. And if you're feeling generous, you can also drop a super chat. It's just a small donation to the channel. All support is always so appreciated. So any support is always very kind. But the main thing is dropping a like and subscribe as well if you can. Really appreciate it. But a few bits to touch on today, lads. A good few talking points. Might start it off with the new Waterford manager. Obviously, we saw Kevin Sheedy leaving the club. And Mark Burkham has been appointed. I think he's formerly with QPR head coach. He's played for QPR. Look, a quick Google search if you find a few interesting bits and pieces about him. But yeah, interesting appointment.
Yeah, the guy was locked up a year ago. Like,
it was only like a year ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Because you sent it in, I was thinking, oh, maybe it happened like ages ago. But that's literally said 2020, and I was like, what the hell? Like,
yeah.
What was the charge? We definitely shouldn't be like this. Shouldn't be the first thing we'd be talking about. But
yeah,
go for it.
I've got no stats, facts, or figures. All I have is that he got
arrested in Florida for aggravated battery after using a deadly weapon.
So yeah, it's an interesting one. And if Waterford are to stay up this season, he might need a few battery weapons up top to score a few goals because they're really struggling at the bottom of the table at the moment.
All that tells me is he takes no shit in the dressing room. He'll take no shit in the dressing room. He was very quick Wikipedia search. 6 years in Millwall, 5 years at QPR, and then 2 years at Yeovil Town. 270 professional appearances. He's kind of underage coaching in QPR, assistant in Millwall, then spent 2 years in the States. Was back his first team coach for 2 years at QPR, so this is his first proper job, if you want to call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he gets on. He put up a thing on Twitter today I saw, and it was like him out of quarantine. He said he had a look around the training ground and stuff like that. So he looks like he's raring to go and get started. So maybe he might give them a bit of fresh air and a bit of life for a survival push. But it will be a tough ask to keep them up. We'll get on to the game that they didn't have this weekend later on. But Chris Forrester got awarded the Player of the Month for, I believe it was April. Had a fantastic one. He scored a couple of cracking goals as well. I thought that was well deserved.
Yeah, 100%. He's been really impressive. Like any time I've seen Pats, just in that kind of midfield role, he's been picking up goals like left, right, and centre, and he's a really good like eye for pass as well. He's always, when he gets on the ball, you always think he makes things happen, creates a chance or has a pop himself. Like so, yeah, super player.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought, and it's kind of started to see maybe a little bit of a dip from Pats, but obviously for April they were really, really good in that period. So, I thought that was well deserved, and I presume Tyke, you think it's the same, well deserved.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, a great month they had, and he's vital to everything they kind of had going forward. So, yeah, great month and well deserved. Probably won't be winning it this month now with the start they've had to it, but yeah, you'll take it.
Definitely.
You just seen there Adam Fowler second, man. Adam Fowler second and Graham Burke third. It says that's voted for. I don't know who votes for that, to be honest.
Maybe it's players. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. No idea. I'd be absolutely lying if I tried to come up with something. We kind of at the start of the show we kind of obviously touch on like the news from the week. So obviously we saw, I think it was early on last week, that Derby have been ordered to pay Richard Keogh $2.3 million. After a couple of years ago, he was let go by the club after an incident. During it was a team night out or something, wasn't it? And he picked up an injury in like a car crash or something. And the two other lads that were involved were kept on by the club, and Richard Keogh was let go. And it was kind of a weird situation, and it's kind of left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths in regards to how they treated him, maybe. And Derby, I think, are in financial ruin at the moment. So it's an absolute nightmare for them to have to pay that out.
It's a strange one. Like why it was him in particular that got like thrown out. I know he was club captain at the time, wasn't he, and stuff like that. But like he wasn't driving the car, like, so it just is a ludicrous to like really sack him and stuff like that. I know he got the bad injury or whatever from it, but probably fairly paid out, like.
Because I think he's older than the other two lads. Like the other two lads were like in their mid-20s, so still probably have a sell-on value, whereas maybe Richie Keogh didn't or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of an excuse to get rid of like or something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think about yourself?
Like he probably thought he was going to come back, and then kind of an excuse to get rid of him. Where the other two lads might have a future or something in their careers or whatever. Like.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think of that?
Yeah, you kind of think like when the accident happened at the time, would he have still been in contention for an Ireland call up? I say possibly would have, like
possibly, yeah, because he was.
I think he was still making the squad. Yeah, he was still playing. I'm pretty sure.
He was in that time. Yeah, you hadn't really Dara O'Shea on the scene yet, as of such, at the time as well. But yeah, at the accident, he had his 28 grand a week plus bonuses and 21 months left to run on his Derby deal. And he felt he was unfairly dismissed. So after a lot of appeals and with the EFL and the employment kind of regulator, they found in his favour, and then it was €2.67 million. I think it was £2.3 million. But yeah, he was clearly entitled to it, no matter your opinion of the accident. Like, kind of, if you sign a contract, I think it's debatable if it was a gross misconduct. Like, as you said, he wasn't driving, and it was pretty unfair that kind of he got let go and the other two lads were kept on. Probably something to do with kind of their age and their sell-on value.
Exactly.
So yeah, 100% fair play.
Definitely unfair dismissal compared to the other two. Like, is clearly unfair dismissal. If you feel like.
Yeah, I think we saw Randolph and a few other Ireland players like were putting up stuff on social media in support of him. So yeah. Does he get a call?
Good old Randolph. Good old late night Randolph Instagram story. Like.
Yeah.
He can get a call if he gives the FAI some of the money. Maybe it's an envelope from Richie Keogh.
He's become standard for that, hasn't he, Randolph? With a little late night story. He loves it. But it's always seemed like Keogh's been a good lad, though, hasn't it? Like, you never hear, apart from that incident, like, you've never heard any bad stuff about him, like off the pitch or anything. He's always seemed all right, like, hasn't he?
Performance-wise for Ireland, he's always done a job. I think I can't remember one big mistake he's made. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's always kind of done the business. And he's put on the good jersey.
Absolutely, and yeah, it's one of those things where, like, when you see kind of former teammates and stuff coming out to support him, it shows that he is like a player that is kind of well liked, I suppose. Moving on to another one, lads. Topic that came up during the week was kind of confirmed beforehand, but it was fully announced by the club that Richie Towell, probably with Salford's season, I think it ended, did it, or his contract expired? So so the deal to Shamrock Rovers has been confirmed, and I don't think they'll need too much help winning the league this season, to be honest with you. But how significant is this, just in terms of what they're building towards and bringing in a player of his quality?
Ridiculous, yeah. I mean, like, the way he was in the League of Ireland, like, those years ago, like, he was absolutely unbelievable. Like, he was unplayable. I mean, a bit unfortunate the way his career kind of went, and then the move to Salford was always kind of a little bit of a weird one. Like, seemed like a backward step, and you kind of thought maybe they might push for promotion this year and stuff. And then, yeah, it's great to see him back in the league. I mean, yeah, like you said, they probably are going to go on and win the league anyway. But I mean, adding his kind of goals from midfield and that kind of thing. Like, I mean, I think they're going to be just unstoppable now.
For sure, 100%. Soccer, what did you think of it?
Yeah, one or two Rovers mates of mine texted me that day and were absolutely delighted. Rovers put up a few nice things on like social media. They made the kind of like cartoon of him winning at the airport and all that. Yeah, for sure. Like I think if clubs do a lot more of that sort of stuff, it creates a bit of buzz around like signing the club possibly. But yeah, two Rovers mates of mine were absolutely delighted. Like as you said, they're probably like if you were to bet on it, they're going to win the league. It'll only reinforce that. But their squad depth is insane. I'd be hard pressed to think of a better all-round squad and a deeper squad in the last few years in the League of Ireland. Like, you could they put out their second team for a few games, and I'd say they'd beat a lot of Premier Division teams. Like we've seen like Harps and kind of Drogheda have run them close so far, but they just have a knack of like nicking results. We've seen, I think it's 5 or 6 late winners so far. But yeah, what day does he allow play from? Is it the end of July, or is
something
he good to
like
go?
that? Is it? I think it might maybe start of July. I think because it's the end of June. His contract maybe fully expired. Maybe.
Yeah,
he's taking a nice little break on to Portugal anyway. He's put an Instagram story saying any hotels in Portugal. Like,
so weird, isn't it?
Who looks for a hotel on Instagram story? Like, just
look
up a nice hotel.
Because ages ago he's looking for a house in Dublin, like on Instagram story.
Was he?
Like, he's
Don't give it away, right? Like,
so funny, like.
But yeah, you've seen teams trying to make like a European push and stuff like that struggle, but I mean, like adding players like him to your squad and the depth they're gonna have when that time does roll around, like I mean, they'll probably be able to manage both. I mean, in all likelihood, I think by then like the league will kind of be wrapped up and stuff like that. So huge signing for that kind of thing. For
depth. Think about like the midfield, like Gary O'Neill, Chris McCann, Ronan Finn, Richie Towell. They can't even think of what Dylan Watts, Mandrew arguably could do a job, but like just like. The midfield options they have are just ridiculous. Unheard of in this league, like unheard of.
Yeah, maybe. Same at the back as well. I mean, their defense was the strongest in the league last year, and then they made 2 signings,
Sean Gannon.
In Gannon, yeah. So
insane.
I mean,
I think it was there last week. Like Manus has made, I think 74 or 75 consecutive appearances now. You have Scales, Lopez at the back, and then at the front, like Burke, McAnuff, Mandrew playing kind of in that 10 sometimes, like ridiculous squad.
Aaron Green, Rory Gaffney, like there's so many players that you forget. Neil Frugia, like there's just like so many players that don't even get a look in that are just so like would probably get into any other team in the league really.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's insane. So I think last time I was in the LOIs were 25 goals for Dundalk from midfield. So it just shows you the quality he does have. Like,
the Irish Frank Lampard.
Yeah. So he's an insane baller. Like and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him back. In fairness, I mean the last time I saw him,
like Dundalk fans would be happy to see him come back. Anyway, I think. Yeah. Like every time I go on Instagram, you just see a comment like you get 1 or 2 little rat emojis.
Can't blame him for not going to Dundalk at the moment though. Jesus Christ.
I mean, he didn't really see he's probably retiring after this, and I mean, the contract he's going to get at Rovers is going to be better. And
3.5 years, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, I mean that's unbelievable to get at his age. I mean, and he definitely got the quality to stay in the league next 2 years and probably start from.
Absolutely.
But you can't blame him for making a move to Rovers,
especially in the League of Ireland where like most contracts are just a year. Year and a half, 2 years if you're very good. So that's a super deal for him.
It's good. It's kind of good that we were seeing that a little bit though, because remember we were talking to Declan Devine at the start of the year, Socko, and he was saying like they got Parkhouse in on 3-year deals and stuff. Hopefully, it's something we're starting to see a bit more, where LOI clubs are able to offer players longer term deals, so they're not losing them for free at the end of every season after they perform really well and turn into players that can have a decent sell on value. So hopefully, it's the start of a bit of a trend across the league. Hopefully, but yeah, obviously Rovers are different kettle of fish. But I was going to say the last thing on Richie Towell. The last time I saw him play for Dundalk was against Shales at Talca Park, and I think he scored a hat-trick. They won 6-1, scored from the halfway line and everything. Like he was just unbelievable. Like it's just insane to think. Like it's just next level. And he went over to Brighton, I think, and played a little bit in the championship and stuff. And
I quite liked him over there. I remember seeing a video of them, like Brighton fans chanting his name and all. Like
Rotherham in the championship and stuff as well. Like he's always good. Like it's just maybe just didn't get 1 or 2 breaks, maybe an injury or 2 that kind of could have gone on to be a lower level Prem player or something maybe. But Moving on, lads, to the final kind of news story of the week. This was just one we'll kind of touch on briefly enough, but it was obviously the thing with Tony O'Donoghue on Twitter, the Twitter account. I won't even get to many publicity, to be honest, but they tweeted out criticizing Tony O'Donoghue, saying that he disrespected the league, and because he got Finn Harp's his name, he called Finn Harp's home farm, I think, wasn't it? Like a complete accident, complete mistake. He said he's past it and needs to stand aside and let somebody else take over, and he's finished.
Past it, like he's football commentator, like just give it a rest. You know what I mean? Like he made a mistake, slip of the tongue. Like it'd be different if it was like a regular thing, like Siobhan or something like that, where she had that kind of crack all the time. She's generally not a good commentator. But Tony's been around for so long. He's always been a great commentator and presenter and all that kind of thing. So just a little bit ridiculous, isn't it? Like, I mean, digging around for something like that, it's a simple mistake. Like,
you're entitled to like criticize someone, but to pick someone who's done more for the League of Ireland in the last like 10, 15 years, like than him, like he's done more than most people. Anyone with the slightest knowledge of in the League of Ireland knows how much of a lovely guy Tony O'Donoghue is and how much he cares about Irish football, domestically and internationally. And I was surprised. I followed that. What was it, LOI Central or something?
All things LOI or something.
I was surprised. I must have followed them a while ago, and I was kind of glad to unfollow them then. Like disgraceful, disgusting comment to make, and simple slip of the tongue. It's happened to the best of us.
Soccer can adhere to that, like.
But
it's one of those things you just make a little meme out of it or a joke out of it, and then you move on. Like, come say he's finished now and he needs to go, and like ridiculous.
Shocking,
like, he's not a manager or a player. Like, commentator, just stupid.
Stand aside. Let the new blood come through. We'll have a few. What was it?
Just Griff in the chat saying, "Where's Griff?" And then I got a strange little notification there. In case he's still here, just came up on my Steam there. Griff is now playing Football Manager 2021. Very interesting. That's just
very definitely Paddy, like. But probably could be Griff. Well, definitely could be Griff. Actually. But we'll have a look at a few comments before we get into the LOI action. So Matthew Dewey says, "What a weekend! Leicester win the FA Cup. Alisson scoring an actual goals and Bowes being decent." So Leicester win the FA Cup was obviously it was actually lovely to see the scenes at the end with the chairman and stuff, because after all the Super League stuff, it was nice to see a proper chairman. Like it was kind of felt like poetic or something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I loved it. I don't know. I think everyone here, Sacco, you loved watching that, all the Leicester players lifting the trophy.
If you as a Chelsea fan, 2 years in a row. Yeah. But as a Chelsea fan, Sacco, was there any sort of, I don't even know how to put it, but any sort of like kind of appreciation that it wasn't losing it to it was, you lost it to Leicester, like it's like a proper run.
I think nice scenes, no, to be honest, like absolutely no. Like I think for the neutral that's really easy to say, and for the neutral that makes sense, but I don't think any proper Chelsea fan worth their salt would take any consolation that it was Leicester and it wasn't like Arsenal, United. If you lose cup final, you lose cup final. We didn't turn up at all, and it's shit. And I know it's irrelevant, but like another thing that's really pissed me off is people saying like how tomorrow, like making the top 4 is more important than winning a trophy. Absolute bollocks. Like in my opinion, like you're a fan because you want to win trophies. Top man, James Duggan. Top man.
Love it, James. Love it, James. Thanks so much, James. I so appreciate it. It's a great message as well. Absolute legend. Soccer, that must make you feel a little bit better about the whole situation. Thanks. That's very kind and generous, James. Thank you so much.
That's gas. Killian there.
So jealous seeing the scenes at the end. That's the way owners should act, interacting with the players and fans. I thought the same as well.
Yeah, sorry, putting my own feelings aside, like definitely, like even for me, like Roman, or you cannot see any top 6 owner doing that. Like
Yeah, and Roman's probably the best out of the fucking top 6. Like,
Yeah.
he
He's probably,
goes out in games. Like,
he's probably the best, and I can definitely not see him. He's not doing anything like that.
And I personally know Steve Parrish would be down there himself. Like, he comments on some of his Instagrams and all. He always likes to comment and all. I always get a little like of Steve Parrish, the Palace chairman, for anyone who doesn't know. I'd say the Bahraini men would be the same.
Dave Whelan.
Dave Whelan.
Yeah. That was the best scenes. The Bahraini men would be great, yeah. If Rovers beat Longford next weekend, the clash of the Rovers will be very interesting next Monday. Top 2 Sligo Rovers, that is, yeah. Could be a great game. All fresh trims, boys. Yeah, got the haircuts done.
Barber's back open.
Barber's back open, yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Yep. Nice trims. Jeez, getting a few comments on the trims. Lovely. Oh, look at this fella. Equation to the mix. How are you getting on that?
Yeah, not too bad. Heard absolutely was not playing Football Manager. Like, it's just never off. Yeah, it's just always on the background. Like, it's always just if in case I just want to pop in and do one or two things. Yeah.
How are things anyway?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, pretty good weekend. Yeah, Jesus, can't really complain. The weather's nice. What about you? How are you all getting on?
It's not quite a great weekend. They're the same.
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous! Yeah, it seems like anytime Chelsea lose, we get donated €5 there from James Duggan. Congrats to Leicester on the FA Cup win. Absolutely, you love to see it. Love to see it.
Soccer was inconsolable on the weekend. I kind of had to put the arm around the shoulder and be like, pull yourself together. You got a Champions League. You're not ninth. You know what I mean? Like, just
if I had my wits about me, I would have took a video of me celebrating the goal that was to be ruled out offside, and that would have got 50,000 likes on TikTok now, I guarantee you.
The ball came over the top, and Soccer started going, yes! When the goal went, he was yes! And I was like, it's offside. I was like, I'm telling you now, it's offside. Like, he's like, yes! Fuck yeah! And it was like, it's offside. And when it went to like VAR, he just went so quiet. Like, it was so funny.
After I stopped shouting, I just heard Griff in the corner, like, it just in my ear, like, I think that's offside, and I was like, oh, please, no. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's where you can't celebrate goals anymore. Like, it's actually shocking, in fairness.
I digress.
That's it. What's your opinion on the upcoming Dundalk FC protests against the chairman and owners? Yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah. Fair play to them. If you're not happy with your ownership, it seems like a bit of a trend starting off a little bit now. But in fairness, Dundalk's ownership has been a bit catastrophic as of late, and they're fair play for raising your opinions on the matter.
Yeah. What are they?
Game, isn't it?
Were they protesting for the owners to leave or to sell?
Yeah, I think it's just a bit. Yeah, presume to sell.
So they're not happy about like the manager situation with Filippo and like the signings they've made, etc. And not investing in the club really. Yeah, they haven't invested in both Europa League. 2016 and last year, they haven't really invested that much. I know they've made a few signings, but they haven't put a cent into Oriel Park, really, haven't they?
Yeah, no, exactly. And the thing is, like, they haven't capitalized on like when getting into the upper league group stage last year at all. You don't feel so. Killian, very very generous, absolute legend of the game. Oh, go on then.
Thanks, Killian.
He also says,
"His man who loves his
ownership protest." Top man, Killian, legend of the game. Just going through a few more of these comments before we jump into the games. As a United fan, happy Leicester won it. Blah blah blah. So jealous scenes. Yeah, that's we saw that. Ben says, "Chuff Leicester won. Scenes at the end has confirmed their great spirit and community culture they built around, which a lot of other clubs could learn from." Absolutely. Griff, a thick head like me forgets people might be lurking when I insult them. What's this about?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. I think someone
friend of the channel, John O'Neill.
Lenny was slagging Griff's trim. Griff's trim is disgraceful.
I'm not gonna lie, that hurts. Like, actually, John, that kind of does hurt, to be honest with you. I've been working all day, and it's been a long day. Do you know what I mean? Like a hard, long day of sitting at my desk, sweating away, and then just be told my trim is disgraceful. It's just a kick in the teeth, really.
You come on for just to relax a little bit, just to have a nice time.
I just came to have a good time. I'm just getting mugged off here. Yeah. Like, do you know what? My hair's gonna be shaved next week, so I hope you're happy. Like,
Matthew says, "Come out at the day. Are you gonna shave your hair, are you?"
No, fuck that. Like,
It suited you that time you done it, actually. It did suit you.
If we get
I'm trying to build the confidence a bit back up now, you know?
Yeah.
Thanks, Ross. Jesus.
If we hit 50 likes, Griff will shave his head.
Live on next
I'm not
week's
fucking
show.
shaving my head.
On next week's
you need to
show.
buy a Finn Harps jersey. Like,
Yeah,
Socko will shave his hair and I'll buy a Finn Harps jersey. Like,
50 likes. You want to say a bit more than that, in fairness, as well. Jesus Christ. Can't wait to get to the Element again. It'll be amazing. Can only imagine the atmosphere once fans are allowed back in the grounds. Absolutely. And it'll be better once they get to redevelop the Daily Mount up as well. Love a good ownership, yeah. All right. That's me trying to be funny and getting the red card. If you don't mind, guys, before we jump into the LOI fixtures, if you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the stream, if you can hit 50 likes, it would be greatly appreciated. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 likes. Sock gets the Finn Harps jersey and Griff shaves his head live on stream.
not happening. Like.
I'm just getting Finn Harps jersey anyway. Like, I don't want to hear this.
Yeah, sure, yeah. That's irrelevant. But yeah, we'll jump into game week 11 first of all, which was Finn Harps. Starting off with Finn Harps, who drew 1-1 with Dundalk. Barry McNamee opened the scoring for Finn Harps before in the second half. Ollie, Eric, Mitch Gogan equalised for Dundalk. A point apiece, nothing really to write home about there. Probably a result you would have seen coming with how both teams are.
Yeah,
Jesus, I don't know got once. Yeah, I seen the game. I think it was kind of to be expected. Really, I'm not sure what I went for in this one, but I don't think either team was like Dundalk probably the better team in the second half. They weren't great in the first. The goal Miss Keogh scored was pretty decent. But yeah, I mean Dundalk just kind of similar story as they've been the last few weeks, just kind of like going through the motions, not really creating a whole lot of chances. Even though they were a decent team, decent possession, they weren't really like cutting edge. So draw's probably a fair result overall, I'd say.
Yeah, so you finish off 1-0 loss, I suppose.
Yeah.
Point. What are you saying, Socko? Sorry.
Yeah, I think Dundalk just seems to be just keeping their heads above water at the minute. Like, I think that was their first game back after the COVID breach as well. There was doubts whether that would go ahead. But they were all negative. So I think there were a day or two's less training down. But yeah, God, kind of like this time last year, Dundalk, you'd expect them to walk that. Finn Harps been pretty good this season so far. But I'm just really interested to see where Dundalk are headed the next few weeks. Like, still managerless. The dressing room seems to be a little bit iffy, especially after that COVID breach. Kind of troubling times for them. Decent point for Finn Harps. Just keeping their good distance between like them and the relegation places at the minute. So if they kind of keep them going over the next few weeks, like it looks like they could be safe this season. Like, I like the look of them this season so far.
Yeah, for sure.
This is great. Actually, I saw a picture of Ollie Horgan. I think, was he suspended for this, or he got a red card?
He might have been. Yeah, he might. That rings a bell. I think he might have been possibly. Yeah.
He was sitting like on the ground, like at the side of the pitch. It was really funny. Yeah, get the picture on Twitter if you want to see it. Yeah, it was great.
I saw a video on Twitter today actually of him being like it's like no context LOI or something, and it was like a trip to Europe. I don't think so. Maybe Lords or something like that. I don't know what he's on about. It's just funny. Like, it's a funny clip. Might be going to Lords, but we won't be going to Europe.
Oh yeah.
We might get to Lords, Johnny. But the reality is basically saying, we'll go on, we'll get to Europe. Like, we might get to Lords, Johnny. But the reality is...
You pulled it up incredibly fast.
We had it on speed dial, like.
Someone did a class Photoshop of that picture as well. They put John Delaney and the bird beside him on the stand. It's a brilliant Photoshop. It's so funny. Do you see Finn Harps being in any trouble relegation wise? Like,
no, I don't think so. I think they've definitely shown enough to show they're going to finish kind of maybe mid-table or slightly above. I mean, you look at the likes of Waterford. Like, I mean, it looks like they're definitely going to be down there at the bottom of the table, and then Longford probably aren't as strong as Finn Harps. So I imagine it's going to stick them two in the 10th and 9th place. But I don't think Finn Harps have too much to worry about, barring anything like unforeseen.
Yeah, for sure. I'd agree. Next up was a bit of a shock result here, actually. Drogheda beating St. Pat's by 3-1. And Drogheda, everyone knows they're no mugs. Like, they're a very, very good side. But I think Pat's were probably who people would have tipped to win this because they'd come into it in good form. Obviously, we were just talking about Chris Forrester getting the player of the month and stuff like that. Dane Massey scored a free kick in this one. He's been quality for Drogheda so far this season. He got to open the scoring. Mark Doyle doubled their lead. Melvin Lambert got his first goal for Pats on loan from Reading. I think he got his first goal back before Jordan Adiomo scored to complete the game for Drogheda and secure the 3 points. A fantastic win for Drogheda, but it kind of just ends the title race, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a long way to go, but I mean, Pats look like the only team, bar maybe Sligo, could possibly challenge Rovers this season. And
sweeping statement on itself.
Yeah, so early on the season, but yeah, like you said, Drogheda no mugs. Like, I mean, they made some great signings and coming into the season, and some great results so far. And this is another one. Definitely, I mean, there's definitely no fear of them going down. It's just kind of where they can go from here if they can keep up in the top half and maybe even challenge for Europe. It's a long way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of us predict that result at all. Like, you think the Pats might have nicked an equaliser late on, but Adeyemo was there to kind of seal the 3 points and take the pressure off. I think Drogheda early on came out the wrong side of a few single goal results. They did look quality, but just kind of lacked something in the final third, lacked a bit of game management possibly. I think that's kind of 2 or 3 poor-ish results in the last few weeks for Pats. Dropped off a little bit. 6 points behind Rovers in the table. Long way to go. I don't think the title race is over by any stretch of the imagination, but it's them type of games where Rovers would have picked up 3 points there or nicked something at the end. Which Pats
wasn't it Mandrew who scored the last minute winner in Drogheda, I think, wasn't it? The header.
It was a nice minute,
yeah, it just shows you the little bit of difference that they have just in terms of grinding out those results. For are Pats still in the title race for you, Griff? Do you see them? I think it's only 1 point from the last 3 games. Do you still think they can push on from here and recover?
I never really had them. Obviously, they're up near the top, but I never really had them as serious title contenders, just purely based on squad depth, I think. And I think that's kind of shown. Just based on talking to Paddy, who's my brother, he's a Pat supporter, said he's the midfield looked wrecked playing against Drogheda. Forrester, Lennon, all look very, very tired.
Just on that,
and that's the difference.
Someone said injuries taking their toll. Obviously, Robbie Benson's been injured as well, which has been huge.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think that's just the difference. You look at Rovers, they're bringing in Richie Towell, even he might not even start, because their team is just so good. So that's the difference, really. I think so. That's what separates Rovers from every other team in the league. But yeah, I think we're 10, 11 games in now. You've had the same kind of players playing every single week in, week out, sometimes 2 times a week for Pats. It's going to take its toll eventually. So I think that's kind of catching up with them these last few games. It's, I don't know, if they get some injury, or if Robbie Benson comes back from injury, and they manage, maybe get 1 or 2, decent options in the transfer window, maybe, kind of steady the ship a little bit, keep them up there. But I don't think they will be challenging that closely for the title when it comes to the latter stage of the season.
Yeah. Realistically, if you offer them top 3 to start the season, they definitely would have taken it. So they're still on course for that. So it's just a case of recovering from the setback. Just not sure if you saw that. Just like Killian said, Chris Pass and talks to Frank Lampard's representatives.
But yeah, I saw his odds dropped to 4-11 or something like that. So it looks like it's going to be super frank. I absolutely doubted the guy so much when he was at Chelsea, but I'm going to back him to the end now. They're the greatest managers, grace the league.
Would you pick them up as a second team slot if Frank gets the job there?
No.
Keep an eye on them.
Keep an eye. I don't really. I'm not sure. In the same league, I don't really believe in second teams, to be honest. I keep an eye. I like to see him do well, no doubt. And good experience at Palace, and then he'll come back to Chelsea and lead us to the Champions League. And
come back, yeah.
We'll all be laughing.
You say you don't have a second team within the Premier League, but do you have a second team or a first team in the LOI? And the same question for you, Ty, from Craig Wilson.
I did. Sporting Fingal.
Yeah, and now
now-
for those I love. So.
Cry me a river sporting Fingal. Yeah, if I would absolutely love if they were still around today. We could talk for an hour about them, but I do like to keep an eye on bows and shells, to be honest. Yeah,
Bows and shells, like so contradictory. Like I like I like Man City and Man United. You know what I mean?
I like to keep an eye. I like to keep an eye on the Premier Division and the First Division. You know.
Yeah, no, I'd be a big Malahide United fan. Yeah, that's it. That's my dream. I know they're not LOI team yet, but that's my dream. If I ever win a lot or something, I'll bring
Malahide and
to
Port Marnock.
Malahide United to the Malahide United to the Super League. No, but I'm pretty neutral. Like, I mean, honestly, like if it was a European game like that, like I'd want to see any of the Irish teams win. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just want the league to do well and stuff like that. I just kind of enjoy watching the matches. Like, it wouldn't bother me seeing anyone win it or lose. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing I miss on Watch LOI is the instant replays. And now with their budget, they can't have it too bad when you can't see replays of goals. Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it? Really, it's really bad.
It's one of those things, though. I mean, before the season started, we weren't even sure if we were going to get it. Like, do you know what I mean? So, and we were all kind of saying like, "Oh, we don't want anything special." Like, and now that we have it, like, it's kind of you can see that maybe it should be a little bit better. But I mean, we're kind of thankful that we have it. I think really should be.
Yeah, at least you have something. Yeah.
The thing that annoys me, we were just saying it before, how like the last few weeks we've gone on, and obviously we can't all watch all 5 matches every weekend. So you go on and have a look at the highlights, and most of the time the highlights from a Friday and Saturday game aren't posted until like Tuesday evening, which is really frustrating. Like, there's no reason why they can't go up that evening. And all you can see, and there's no RTE highlights either. So all you can see is like the odd goal that the club posts on Twitter if there's a screamer or something, which is really frustrating. Yeah, that's something. Hopefully, with fans back in the ground, like in the second half of the season, and the watch LOIs kind of ending halfway through like this summer, and they'll have to announce like a new package or a TV deal. So hopefully there'll be something there, but there's a lot more that could be done. Not to shit on the FAI, because I know it's easy to do, but like, I don't think it's too much to ask to have highlights a day or two after the game, you know?
Get us to do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Yeah, that'd be class. To be fair, if you could do like a highlight show or something, or on Soccer Republic, that'd be the buzz. On YouTube, I think people would watch it as well. But definitely, and people watch any highlight show that comes out over the weekend after the games. To be honest, But moving on,
totally copy match of the day, just the same music and all.
Yeah. Longford lost 2-0 to Bows. Bows had to put together a couple of results now. Liam Burt got a cracker in this one, didn't he, as well? He scored, and Ali Coote scored as well. And they're starting to find their own a little bit. You were delighted, Segriff?
Yeah, really good result. I felt confident going in. I think Longford, even though they've been unlucky at times, getting draws where they could have got wins, and like I've only got 1 win from 11 now, so that's not great. But like I did think the Bows are like the better team, as you said. Like last few weeks being a lot better. It seems like the players like Liam Burt and stuff, like he's settling in a lot more. Like the goal he scored was brilliant. Like Ali Coote now again, what's that, 3 in his last 2? So it seems like things have kind of fallen into place a little bit more, hopefully, touch wood. Like, but yeah, it's been better. Like, especially contrasted when we played them at the start of the season. We threw away a 2-0 lead. Like, it's just much better. Like, so yeah, it seems like hopefully the ship is kind of being a bit more steadied. And you're picking up a few more points. So you thought as well for this last like 2 games, we kind of needed 6 points. I feel like just to kind of get a bit more confidence, get a bit of a form going. If you got like dropping points to Longford, like I think it would have been a bit, that's 6 points out of the first 2 games, which you should be realistically getting. I think it's good. Happy out.
For sure.
Yeah. I always thought it was going to take them a little time to finally click. It's always going to happen when you're losing like 3 players or 3 starting players up top, and then a lot of young players coming in. And Keith Long always does kind of seem to get them going. It's just sometimes it's going to take a little bit of time. It's just about building on that now and where they can go from here and kind of trying to climb back up the table, because they had a bit of a shocker of a start.
Yeah. No, it does seem like they're starting to steady the ship a bit, and the fact that there isn't an awful lot, there's a lot of teams that are dropping points and stuff. So you like Bows has so much time to make up; they can make up a lot of ground and still kind of get a European place. You feel. Someone's saying here, Ali Coote is a baller. He is the Bows what Bruno Fernandes is to Man United.
Very similar players. he's a good player, very good player though. He was good at Waterford last season as well.
He was.
Him and Wilson getting both of them like two really, really good signings. Two young lads.
Players,
so yeah, really, really good.
Georgie Caddy still not on the score sheet.
No comment. Like
Simon Acoli.
Timo Werner is.
Timo Werner. At least Timo gets into decent scoring positions, like, and then he misses. And Georgie, God bless him, like he's not doing much so far. Like I hope he gets one or two, but like I don't know.
Just penalties, hasn't it been so far? I think.
Yeah, I mean he may have scored a header as well. Actually, I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
It's not particularly comforting. Like, is it? Oh my god.
Yeah. John O'Neill's coming in saying, I wonder if the LOI had a specific TV sponsor that could provide that. This is a highlights package aside for RT, but I've no idea who that could be. Yeah, RT obviously had Soccer Public for a good few years, and obviously not sure what the story was there. But yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame. But it was a tear. They put it on so poorly, and they put it on like 11 o'clock, and no analysis or anything. Like it was really badly done. So, there's definitely better option. I think it's putting it up on a YouTube kind of platform and doing some sort of show there. It's the future. Like, it's the way to go.
Sky Sports put up their highlights instantly.
Yeah,
on YouTube for free, and that does huge views. And like we've seen a few worldies already in League of Ireland, so like you could get one or two videos that absolutely blow up. Like you get decent ad revenue from those videos. So yeah, it'd be nice if it was done. I think it's easily done as well because they have the footage, you know.
For sure, yeah. Definitely. Bit of a shock result at Towell Stadium on Friday night, and to be honest, Derry should have left there with all 3 points. Absolutely robbed. Probably one of the worst refereeing decisions I've seen this season. And the camera didn't even like pan to where the ball was. The camera was focused on where the throw-in should have been taken from. Because it was like the ball went to the play. It was like the throw-in was taken 10-15 yards.
It's basically the halfway line, like where it went out. Like, and then I just can't understand the decision. Like, I mean, it's a bit of a Rover bias there, maybe.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
So there can't be two balls on the pitch, and the throw-in was taken about 15 yards ahead from where it was as well. Like,
amateur refereeing, like it's just so poor, like, and it doesn't reflect well for the league. Like, I mean, so obvious as well, as you said, Ty. Like the ball went out on the halfway line, and I think it was like Liam Scales runs about 20 yards up the pitch and then throws it in, like, you know.
Yeah.
So
how he got away with it, like.
It's actually
literally like.
mind-boggles.
What do you mean? What really made you do that? Like, because if I was playing a match and I tried to do that, I just would be like, "Oh, the referee's clearly going to say something." Like, even in our league, like, we're not at a very high standard to say that much for free.
One or two of the Derry players. Yeah, one, two of the Derry players were kind of looking around. They like stopped for half a second and kind of looked around and put their arm up in the air, like, "What the fuck's going on?"
But like that, they should have reacted much like more to that.
Yeah,
they should have in the face, like screaming. That's ridiculous. Like,
I mean,
but like if
got a bit of luck with decisions as well against the likes of Bowes as well. So I mean, just seems to be going their way, and it's just leading towards another Rovers title win. Like, because the one against Bowes was never a penalty either, and then a red card as well, so harsh.
No, absolutely.
A few decisions going their way.
That's what you need. Like, there was 33 games unbeaten. You need it along the way, don't you? A bit of luck, like.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and all the last minute goals and stuff like that.
Ridiculous. But yeah, in terms of like for Derry, it's like if that had been offered at the start of the game, they would have definitely taken it. But it feels like the managers turned things around a little bit there, and they're starting to pick up a few points. And I'd say they will be okay this season in terms of a relegation fight. I don't think they'll go down.
Yeah, I think they picked up more points in the last kind of 3 or 4 games since Rory Higgins took over compared to Declan Devine in the first kind of 6 or 7. Yeah, it's going really well for him. So, how long will the new manager bounce last? That's what I'm asking.
That's the question, yeah. Stephen Bradley said in his interview after the game that Derry were poor to stop. It was poor from Derry to stop, like the few players that did stop or whatever. But yeah, I don't know if that makes much sense there, to be honest, because what went out of play? Like,
going out for a throw on like the opposite side of the pitch, like you're hardly going to just get down the other end.
They were looking at the ball that was on the pitch, like then the ball was still on the
How's the Lions been with it, like standing right beside?
Yeah, none of the officials. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous decision. Lucky Rovers is as usual sick of it. Should we pretend to be shocked? Rovers got away with a big decision.
That's what I'm saying.
Probably
There's a little bit of bias there.
Something stinks. Something stinks in this league. Something stinks in this league. I tell you, we're rotten to the core. We're rotten to the core.
It's actually ridiculous because they'll probably keep up their winning streak for like another 10 games now, and it definitely should have ended there. Like,
Yeah.
ridiculously. Took the finish well, Rory Gaffney, in fairness, but yeah, lot of bollocks. Sligo obviously got the 3-0 win against Waterford. Obviously, that was a 4 big win for them.
Massive.
Kyle Cook let it know. I'm shocked.
Addison Ray had a shocker in this game.
Fair play to the lads. And, what do you think of the decision? Should they have let the under 19s go out and get battered again, or do you think it was the right decision to kind of pull the plug in it?
I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. I don't think the under 19s should be punished for a rule that the FAI haven't.
Is it a rule or is it Waterford doing it themselves? I'm not sure.
It's Waterford doing it themselves.
Waterford doing it themselves. But like, if you see, there's a bit of a discrepancy between the HSE guidelines and the FAI guidelines. So like, to the FAI, you can still put out a side as long as they're all negative. But like, if you're a close contact, you're a close contact. So it's a bit grey in my opinion. But I don't think the under 9. I don't think it does anyone good being battered 7-0. To be honest, I know you're seeing your experience, but like, I'm not sure how much good that does. I think the decision. I think like if this happened last season, they would have rearranged the fixture, and I'm not sure why. I think it's pretty unfair for clubs to be put in that position to be forfeiting games.
The same with Cabinteely, wasn't it, a few weeks ago as well? I think was
same
it?
with Cabinteely and Galway, yeah. I think like health should come first, and you shouldn't be punished for kind of doing the right thing. That's just my opinion, anyway. I know the season's kind of there's not too many free weekends. It's kind of hard to find space to rearrange games, but like I think it's a bit unfair. Brian Kerr said the same on Off the Ball last week.
Would you agree with that, Griffin Tyke?
Yeah.
I'd say that like the under 19s, like, why not throw them in? To be honest with you, like, I understand that you might be trying to protect the players and stuff, like, because they're only young and whatever, and they did get hammered by Drogheda, and Sligo are probably better teams. It would have been more, but I don't know. To be honest, I do understand the decision. I don't really feel too strongly either way about it, like, but yeah, I don't know. I can't really say much, to be honest, like.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the goal difference. I mean, like, could come down. Like, I mean, at the end of the season, goal difference can be worth a point. Like, I mean, 7-0 they got hammered, and that's they're playing Sligo now. Like, I mean, easily could have put, like, you've seen how good they are going forward. Like, easily could have put another 7 past them. Like, and I mean, you have to feel sorry for them. Like, I mean, it's already going to be tough enough as it is for Waterford now. Like, these 2 games essentially both forfeited. Like, it's a long haul for them to try and climb back up out of the relegation zone. Like.
No, for sure, yeah, and it was probably a big task with their first team as well to get out of relegation.
Yeah.
John says it must take a full season or more to get your bearings as a fan, having to get to know the teams and so on. Can you guys recall the first season you followed at Hawaii? It probably takes longer than that. I don't know. We still haven't got our bearings for doing
it. Yeah, Jesus. Like, this season, maybe. Like, if you go back and watch our first videos, like, some of them are just absolutely having a clue what we're talking about. Like,
Bovers.
Yeah, decided to set up the channel. Well, Ross kind of decided to set up the channel and like just told us that he was like, "Oh, do you want to do it?" And I was like, watched about 3 League of Ireland games in my life before that. So like, that was about it. Like after that, fucking ultra,
exactly. A few other comments coming in here. Waterford 100% going to the first division. If they survive, I'll change my profile pic to a Rovers badge for a week. Screenshot remind me when the season concludes. Yes. Under 19s back training a week or 2 and had to go out and play a game. Seems very unfair. Bit of a hard situation for FAI too, as hard to reschedule games. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Yes, I didn't even think the under 19s wouldn't have been back that long actually as well.
Yeah, they can't.
They wouldn't have had a pre-season.
Restrictions like.
So yeah, it's probably a little bit unfair to actually send them out maybe in that regard. And when you're bringing young players through, you want to bring through like 2, maybe 3 max when they're surrounded by like senior pros, all of them coming in at once is just a recipe for disaster. Like,
Yeah, 5 or 6 of them have their leaving cert in a few weeks as well. I saw on Twitter. So
yeah, that's
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even think that. Yeah, need to hit the books. Like,
you're one to talk.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I didn't even update the predictions, but in terms of
1-0
who
to
got
Swansea,
what,
if anyone's interested.
Jamal Lowe,
Andre
Yeah.
Ayew.
Andre Ayew. I'd love for Barnsley to lose that. In fairness,
Yeah.
the prediction table.
Either.
So I got 3 points this week. Liam got 2, Ty got 2, Griff got 2, and Soccer got 1. So the table looks like this.
I'm not at the bottom.
Leading the way with 33
I don't know
points.
about my 2. I'm not sure about my
Alphabetically, Griff rises off the bottom of the table. I'm going.
Get in there,
man.
man.
Awesome.
Coming back from the dead.
It's not a tough enough weekend. I'll put him at the bottom. Tough enough weekend.
You have to try and make up some ground there, Soccer.
I'm biding my time, just getting my bearings, and then we'll have a good second half of the season.
Long way to go. Before we jump into our predictions for game week 12, guys, if you can drop a like on the stream, it'd be greatly appreciated. I'm not sure what we're on at the moment, but if you can hit 50 likes, that would be fantastic. 22 people watching, we do really, really appreciate it. And do subscribe if you haven't done so already. It does mean the world. We're trying to get towards that 3K mark as soon as we can. And if you want, you can follow in the footsteps of 1 or 2 lads that have done it previously in the stream. You can drop a super chat, which is a small donation to the channel. It's really, really appreciated. All your support. It does mean the world to us. And yes, live show every Monday at 8 o'clock, so you can join us here every week at the same time. But moving into game week 12, we have St. Pat's playing host to Bohemians, which would be a cracking game. I think we're going to try to get to this one, Soccer, aren't we? You might be trying to get to this one yourself, but it should be a cracking game in store.
Yeah, Dublin Derby. You can call it maybe the second most important Dublin Derby. Yeah, obviously Pat's coming off like 2 or 3 iffy results.
Yeah.
Bows like 2 wins in a row, 6 goals in their last 2 games, kind of hitting a little bit of form now. Should be a really, really good game. 2 teams that are maybe like a little bit better going forward than at the back, I might say. Pat's a little bit more than Bows, to be honest. But yeah, really, really looking forward to it. The first of 2 big games that night is Dundalk Rovers then at 7:45. So yeah, it'd be a good night. For sure. What do you think in terms of results, Soccer? Got it off you. Obviously, no one could have predicted like Pat's losing 3-1 last week. Oh God. Surely there'll be a reaction, you'd think. Oh, I don't know. Maybe 1-1. I went down the middle in terms of a draw as well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go for draw as well.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
Jesus. I was being very neutral this week. Like,
I was going to go with everyone.
Just sitting on the fence, like, just don't lean either way. Like,
it could be a good, and it's one of those that you could kind of make a case for it going anyway, to be honest, really. Just in terms of the form, it's hard to judge because obviously Pats have dipped and then Bows are starting to rise back up, so it's like they're kind of like meeting in the middle a little bit in terms of where their seasons are going. So it could be a really, really interesting game. But I think a draw is probably the safest shout there. Waterford, hopefully, is this game due to go ahead? Surely it is at this stage. Waterford playing host to Derry City. Surely that goes ahead. Not too sure what you guys think in terms of that, but I'd say it will be going ahead. Would you say so? See if there's anything on there.
It's all sorted by now. Like,
yeah, there should be for Mark Burkham's first game, obviously. Yeah, of course. Actually, new manager bounce could be a factor here. Actually, didn't even think of that.
I wouldn't be too worried about it.
Actually,
I wouldn't be too worried about it. I don't think the game being on is too much of an issue because I'm going to go to Derry win.
What day is it today? Monday. Saturday afternoon, Waterford reveal a second squad member is tested positive for COVID. That's mad. It's hoped training will resume today, but I'm not sure if they had training today, so I would kind of we're 4 or 5 days away. Should be, to be honest. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah.
Sucker. I'm gonna go 1-0 Derry. Shy versus Shy. No.
I can't imagine this is going to be a cracking game. Like,
I'm gonna go 1-0 Derry. Waterford just been terrible absolutely terrible this season so far. I think Derry have come out the wrong side of a few kind of tie results, and probably should have picked up a win against Rovers last week, so probably go away win.
I was going to go for an away win as well, but then I think Waterford, they've only won 2 games at Longford. They beat Derry last time, so I'm going to go. Well, not going to go for now. I don't think they'll win, but I'm going to go for a draw. Go down the middle again, I think.
So everyone's gone for an away win by Griff there. Griff actually interestingly changed his mind from earlier because he's.
I know. I'm a maverick, man. You can't predict it. Like, you can't predict it.
So it's like fantasy. So for every change you make, you lose a point. It's like fantasy football. Next up is another cracker, actually, that Soccer mentioned before at Oriel Park. It seems like a heavyweight clash, but is it known as a heavyweight clash anymore?
I'll see if that protest as well planned.
Oh yeah, that it'd be interesting.
Before, actually. Is it before? What was the poster?
It was before. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I mean, still quality players in Dundalk's team, but at the end of the day, just Rovers' form and stuff like that, you can't see them not coming out on top of this one. Personally, anyway, I'd have to go and lean for an away win.
Yeah,
I'm going to go for a draw. Just I think that obviously them dropping points against Derry during the week, and Dundalk. I don't know. I'm just going to go for a draw. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to justify. I have a feeling. Because it seems like. At any time as well that like don't they seem to play like Dundalk are usually like not that bad, like, so I don't know. I just feel a draw, man. I feel a draw.
I saw when Chelsea played Brighton, fan protests outside the stadium absolutely rattle your team, and they're totally distracted and not focused at all. No. Like Rovers been absolutely top class. Dundalk been really troubled in the season so far. Their worst league start since 2012. So away win here.
Fair shout, yeah. Next up we have Finn Harps playing host to Drogheda. This is another tricky one to call. It's one of those games, isn't it? Like Drogheda obviously been really good, but going to Finn Harps, I always say it. Like I seem to always be saying it, but it's a away trip in the country.
I think both teams are delighted with their starts to the season, I'd say, and I think again I'm gonna go on the fence for this one and lean towards a draw. I mean, both teams picked up good results, and
they shake hands.
Yeah, they'd probably be happy enough with a draw. I mean, both teams.
Yeah, I think they shake hands on it.
Yeah, you could make arguments for it going either way. Harps have had some really good results. Drogheda picking up that win against Pats, obviously. Probably draw is probably the safest way to go.
Ross, what did I say to you earlier? Like, what did I predict?
You went down as a home win here.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that home win. I thought it was, but then when the lads were speaking, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna go for draw." Kind of threw me off my balance. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a home win.
So was that soccer and type of draw, wasn't it? There.
Yeah, you could easily see it going either way, but I'm going to
we need the points.
Liam went for a draw there as well, so that's everyone on a draw except for Griff that time. So Griff could make up some serious ground here if there's someone.
That's the thing. I have to take these risks. I'm back in contention. So I have to take these risks.
Start making the risks.
Yeah, absolutely. So
he's taking these risks. We're not even a third into the season.
There's the gap, man. Like, I mean, second half of the season doing a title charge.
Yeah, someone's going to that before. And the final game of the weekend, Sligo playing host to Longford Town. I think this one might be unanimous, but what are we saying?
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to go with a Longford away win. I think you're right, Ross. Sligo definitely. I think I can't imagine anyone's going to go against them, given the form they're in, the players they have, and Longford's form as well. So yeah, Sligo home win.
Longford, they have it in them to like cause a slip up, but like I think Sligo will win.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it'd just be like, unless you want to back the upset, like, and pick it as your upset of the week. But I mean, Sligo. I mean, it'd be strange not to go against.
It'd be a strange show. Yeah.
100% totally agree.
I think that's just a full head.
Unanimous, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a draw, actually.
Typical Bows fan. Going going against the grain, so to speak. So that's our game week 12 predictions. We'll move on to our weekly Irish players abroad segment. So there's a couple of bits and pieces to get through in this week's episode. Starting off with Ryan Johansson, the 20-year-old midfielder for Sevilla. It was believed before that he wasn't going to be able to play for Ireland. I think he has a parent from Monaghan or something like that. But new rules have, and apparently he wants to declare for Ireland, and it looked like he's going to play for Sweden. But it does look like now he will be able to play for Ireland, and he'll be in Jim Crawford's under 21 side, which is fantastic news, and he sounds like a good player.
Listen, we'll take anything we can get. I mean, if he's good enough to play for the trainings now, he's probably good enough to play for the senior team. Like, literally, just get him capped now. Like, we're not having any more Grealish or Royces. Like, just cap them. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I think he's quite highly rated as well. I think from what I've heard on Twitter and stuff. So yeah, bit of a weird one. Like, I mean, he wants to declare for Ireland. Jesus, that's the first in a while, to be honest with you. Like, so yeah, definitely take him. So I'm happy with that.
For sure, yeah. I think he was with Bayern Munich before, and then he went to Sevilla, so it's a bit of a mad old career path. Like, but fair play to him. Sevilla, like, a decent, like, it's a good played. Like, 20 years old, still getting playing there. I don't think he's in the first team, but they're like probably. I don't usually Spanish teams have like those B teams and stuff, don't they? Probably in that. Moving on to a player we need to cap ASAP as well. Mipo Odubeko, who won the Premier League 2 Player of the Month award at West Ham. He looks like a fantastic talent. He's a forward, and God, we could do with someone who can put like a ball in the back of the net. Like,
we've been teased a good bit with some strikers coming up, and it'd be nice to have one that can actually score. Like, just get him up there and get him capped just in case. Like, cap them all.
Just Stephen Kenny running around with little green caps, just fucking them on.
Because we had like Declan Rice like bang to rights. Like, I don't know how he got out of there.
Shockingly. Kissing the badge and all. Kissing the badge. Like,
3 senior caps. Like,
shocking.
Ridiculous.
Even
a Nations League game or something.
This is the most depressing section of the live show. Like, if you're in a good mood, like, just start talking about the Irish team. Like,
it always comes back to Grealish and Rice. Just imagine we go into the Euro.
For fuck's sake.
So funny, like, because they even say like Jack Grealish isn't going to start for England at the Euros and stuff. I know he's been injured and stuff as well, but like, Jesus, the fucking things to do from to have him on our team. Like,
every Ireland squad,
creativity. Like,
does Rice get in? Does Grealish get in? It's a question to ask. It's a fair question.
Like, it's ridiculous, like, isn't it? Yeah, ridiculous. Carry on. Super chat here from John O'Neill. Wow, that is so generous, John. Thank you so much. You're far too kind, John. Ross Giff, Sean Tighe, you are a great man for tolerating my personality. Oh my Jay, bless you. Absolute legend of the game, John. Thank you so much,
John. Legend, John. Absolute top man.
We love having you, man. Absolute legend of the game. It's so generous as well. Thank you so much for that donation. It's absolutely far too generous, and it's really, really appreciated. Thank you so much. But yeah, Mipo Odubeko, hopefully we can get him capped ASAP. Jamie McGrath, interested one, lads. St. Mirren Player of the Year he was awarded with, and that's great. And it's, I think, 17 goals this season for him, which is unbelievable, and it's a no-brainer surely to get him in the Ireland squad.
Yeah, I mean, most of us can't understand why he didn't get in there in the first place. Like, you've got to like O'Dowd getting in, who just is not good. Like, I mean, the guy doesn't play. Like, and then when he does play, he doesn't actually score and like that. We've got players scoring goals. You know what I mean? And making things happen in the league.
Jesus Christ! Like, yeah, days like getting Hazard or so. Jesus Christ!
It's the early days.
Yeah, it's the early days. Like, you still have time, but fuck me, he's shot.
Bit of context.
Yeah. Plays in that role was GD Mac. Yeah, that was a great game. But Jamie McGrath could be one of those you could see possibly getting a move to like a championship side actually, and this summer.
If he was going to call up now, it'd be. I think the squad's been announced actually in 2-3 weeks. Who we playing? Jesus, I can't remember who we're playing. The 2 friendlies in June.
It doesn't bear thinking about. It doesn't bear thinking about.
It's, don't let me upset.
I don't fancy your chances against anyone. Like, That's it. Like.
Because anyone couldn't even beat Qatar. Like,
Yeah.
Good side, tough away day.
Get Georgie
India
Kelly in
Diva.
the Ireland squad. It's really mad. An interesting one I saw actually, lads, was a young defender, 17 years of age. He's played 11 times for Lincoln this season in League One. Sean Rohan. He's apparently he's a week-long trial with Chelsea now coming up. He's apparently really, really impressed. And it seems like we've actually have a good few young defenders coming through, and this is another one to add to the list.
yeah, I've seen. I think he may have been on trial with Southampton as well last week or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's quite highly rated. Few, because you have Anthony Scully playing at Lincoln as well this season, had a real good season. So yeah, at least might have a nice defense for the next few years. Because think about all the I don't know, is he a fullback? Is he a centre back? Like, I don't actually know.
I think he's centre back, but I wouldn't quote me on that now.
Yeah, we're gonna have centre backs for days. Honestly,
Yeah.
But yeah. Listen, it seems good as well the last few weeks. You have these kind of players kind of popping up towards the end of the season. Obviously Omad Midile in Norwich, and then that as well. So yeah, good to see, and hopefully the future's bright.
For sure. I just want to see if I can see what position this fella plays in, but left back apparently, which is actually brilliant because we could do that with Andy Stevens getting on a bit as well. Actually,
definitely.
And there's not really a natural Ryan Manning. Yeah. It's not a natural person coming in.
Ryan Manning's like the next Stephen Moore or something. Not even as good as Stephen Moore.
No, he's just a championship average left back. Really, I don't think he even had an outstanding season this season. He was grand. So that's good.
Even in the under 21s, wasn't Darrell Lee? He come through he's probably a good bit off where we need players to be at for international level for the time being. Anyway. So yeah, having this young fella come through could be exactly what we need.
I know who's going to be our future left back. That's all I'm saying. Towell Ardamola.
Oh, of course, actually, yeah.
I'm saying it now. He's playing for Palace under 18s. He just missed out on winning the league. I think they were 6 points ahead, and then Fulham behind him in 2 games in hand. But yeah, Ardamola, he's balling for Palace. I think he gets assist every game. He looks quality. He's a Irish under 18, so. Yeah. And
then, of course, Jake O'Brien at Palace as well. I saw he was captain tonight, actually, as well, for the under 23.
He's offered it in the Premier League 2 thing. Yeah, we were watching. Do you remember you sent me the thing that he scored twice or something like that? And as we were watching it, we're he's 2 great goals, but then the 2 goals we conceded, both his fault.
But he's
decent to see. Exactly.
Shane Duffy character.
Everyone but our strikers can score, even Mark Travers is scoring.
That's actually, someone said Jimmy Keogh I saw that he got the Rochdale Player of the Year. I think they got relegated, so it'll be interesting to see if he could get a move back to League One. Not even, I think he's quite old though, so I don't think he'd be anywhere near the international setup. Last thing to touch on is the Brighton trio. We have come through Evan Ferguson, Andrew Moore, who looks quality. I think there's a couple of big name teams in for him, and some of the highlights from him as well. He looks really, really good. And Lee Kavanagh, I think his name is as well, centre back as well. So, I saw today that Brighton and Hibs in the SBL have announced a partnership. Do you think that could possibly open up the door for a loan move for one of these 3 possibly?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure about Ferguson just yet. He's still quite young. I remember obviously he made his debut. I think it was 14-15 against Chelsea for Bowes. Mental, yeah. But he's playing under 23s football, and he's scoring a good bit. And he's 16-17 now, which is just brilliant. Moran looks an absolutely cracking player. I seen one of the goals where he picked it up from the halfway line, just ran, and he's just so quick and great finish as well.
Yeah,
haven't seen too much of him. Yeah, he's real quick. So
you see that chip he did as well, hit the crossbar thing, but he had a mazy run and then chipped the keeper, hit the bar, but it would have been such a good goal if it went in.
He looks really good. Ferguson as well, and the fact that he's playing under 23s football and he's only 16, 17, I'd say they'll keep him around there for another year. I'd say. I'm not sure. It was more might be a bit older. But SPFL or SPL is a decent level, especially for Hibernian, decent side. So I wouldn't be surprised to get loaned out. It'd be good development, Scotland. Quite similar, probably a higher quality, but it is higher quality in here. But style of football and stuff can be quite similar to our league. So I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, for sure. I think he ran more and it's like 11 goals, 12 assists in like 20 games or something crazy. Like really, really good.
They could keep him around for the first team as well next season. Do you know, that's the thing.
like
Like if he's
develop
doing
him in,
so
like-
well,
It's like not Phil Foden, but like John Wade did. Like Pep Guardiola never loaned out Phil Foden because he kind of like want them to learn how to like integrate into the first team, and it could be one of those where
I don't want to get too hard far ahead of myself. He's a bit of a Phil Foden kind of player.
He actually kind of is though in terms of like what I've seen, like that kind of like position maybe.
No pressure.
But at the same terms of like
terrible club, just don't know why.
Brighton, yeah,
He's
not
got-
financial.
he needs to get out there as quick as possible.
I think
They're
that.
going down next year, so
Do you think so? Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
The two
Brighton
teams
get
that
back.
came up still.
No Shane Duffy back.
Burnley will go down if they don't sign anyone. Brighton will go down, and then whoever's coming up in the playoffs will go down. That's my prediction.
Burnley have never
Burnley
gone
keep
down.
Sean
Burnley have
Dyche.
never gone down.
Actually, no, Palace. Yeah, Palace probably going to go down, to be honest with you.
But Palace could be in trouble. Like,
Nine
Lampard
players
could
out of contract, and Frank Lampard coming in. This I'm very confident. I'm very confident.
serious rebuild job, like on an experienced manager, like such a massive task. Like,
Yeah.
Any chance of making a Twitch channel, lads? Listen, we might actually like over the summer. We might look into a few bits and pieces like that.
Yeah.
I know you've talked about that, Tyke, haven't you? Something
Yeah, I
like that.
floated the idea to you before. I mean, just if even like just like career mode or something like that. But I mean, obviously we haven't been able to really meet up or anything like that. It's only a whole lot you can do like remotely, I suppose.
Hopefully,
But,
we can do like live Cosh Optimistic some stage down the line, like in person. Maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe Twitch might be
Be like the It Girls selling out 3 Arena, like. We don't mention them. We don't talk about them. We don't talk about them. Actually,
Yeah, we
sorry.
don't talk about
Let's talk
them,
over-
We support November. Evan Ferguson looks the real deal. It was a shame to see him leave us. Yeah, well, like they're never going to keep like a really hot prospect around in a League of Ireland club for too long. Graham Potter likes to give young players a chance, so that could be a real opportunity for the lads if called upon. And then Mapai Yurchino, Brighton. That's the way to end it. Does anyone want to check the likes actually before we wrap up? If you did enjoy the stream, guys, please smash the like button. If we can hit 50 likes, that'd be fan-bloody-tastic. And do subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're on the road to that 3K mark, which we want to hit ASAP Rocky. So
29 likes, I think.
29 likes, which is decent. Yeah, we got to above 30 before we go off.
Yeah,
last 30 mark. And
Killian XG merchant.
Yeah, don't believe all that nonsense, like absolute nonsense that is. Like
that's brilliant. I love their expected points. Where are they? They're both
XG is a lot of nonsense.
Graham Potter is the most overrated coach, I think, on the planet. Like the guy was playing Dan Byrne left wing back. Like come on, like.
Would you say he's a better manager than Arteta? Probably, like.
Anyway, lads, thank you for tuning into the stream. It's been a pleasure. I'm not talking about Arteta, not tonight.
Matthew Dooley, best luck in your exams, Matthew.
Best of luck, bro.
Look, Matthew.
That's leaving. Is it leaving? Is it? Jesus.
Probably do better than I did.
That's not starting next week. It's not starting June.
No, it doesn't say it. Yeah, it must be college to say. Yeah. Now, best of luck, Matthew. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Really, really do appreciate it. And we'll come back next week, 8 o'clock. We'll be doing an hour show on Arteta and Arsenal. So tune in.
His games next Monday night.
Oh, actually, I think I saw someone say that. Actually, yeah. So we might have to.
Hang on,
Yeah, there's 5. They're all next Monday, so we could do a watch along or something potentially.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, might do that. Definitely, and we could even do Cosh Optimistic, maybe reschedule for a different day or something. We can see how everyone's fixed.
Dock, Court 6, Derry Pats, Waterford Harps, Drogheda, Longford, Rovers versus Rovers.
Sure, I swear we went through all this before.
Yeah. Yeah, but thanks for tuning in, guys. We do appreciate it. Drop a like on the stream, subscribe, and what a way to end the show and get demonetized. Love to see it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next week. Hope I do watch it on whatever. But yeah, catch us then.